Welcome to today's episode of Places, People, Purpose. In our last episode, we learned about the amazing history of soccer in Barcelona and why it is more important than a sport to Catalans. We also started discussing the brilliance of Antoni Gaudi, who created buildings that seem to be alive and how they integrate the mastery of nature. In today's podcast, we're going to look at more of Gaudi's incredible creations. In our last episode, we talked about Casa Batlló. We went on a guided tour of Casa Batlló and are so glad we did. From the moment you see the facade of the building, with its whimsical exterior and beautiful colors, until the very end, we were in complete awe of the genius of Gaudi. Because our mom, who is 93, struggles with stairs, we were able to take the elevator in the house. And this experience made clear that Gaudi took every opportunity to make even functional elements with artistic qualities. The elevator was made of beautifully carved wood and is the original elevator that was installed in 1904. We felt so lucky to be able to be transported in such a beautiful art piece. We would highly recommend a visit to Casa Batlló to anyone visiting Barcelona. We bought our tickets online and opted for the gold package, which provided us with priority entry and an audio guide with a personal tablet. The information provided was very interesting and gave us history and context that we wouldn't otherwise have known, and this added to the enjoyment of our experience. If possible, we would recommend that you go late or early in the day, as the number of people inside the house can be quite large at times of peak demand. We've got some great photographs of Casa Batlló on our website, placespeoplepurpose.com, and we would invite you to go and take a look at those to see the true mastery of Antoni Gaudi. Just go to placespeoplepurpose.com and then click on the Places tab, where you will find the destinations of Spain and Barcelona. Now let's move on to another work of Gaudi's called Casa Milà. Casa Milà, also known as La Pedrera, was completed in 1912 and is a modernist marvel of creativity, innovation, and functionality. Gaudi was commissioned by the wealthy businessman Pere Milà to design a residential building that would push the boundaries of conventional architecture. The result was Casa Milà, a structure that defies categorization and captures the essence of Gaudi's artistic vision. Casa Milà is a visual symphony of organic shapes, undulating stone facades, and intricate wrought iron balconies. Gaudi's inspiration drew heavily from nature, and this is evident in the building's fluid forms, reminiscent of waves and cliffs. The stone exterior, with its irregular windows and balconies, gives the impression of a living, breathing creature. Beyond its aesthetic brilliance, Casa Milà was designed with a keen focus on functionality. The building features an innovative self-supporting stone facade, allowing for an open interior space without the need for load-bearing walls. This flexibility in design was ahead of its time and contributes to the building's timeless appeal. One of the most distinctive features of Casa Milà is its rooftop, a surreal landscape adorned with an array of sculpted chimneys and ventilation towers. These structures, resembling warriors and abstract figures, showcase Gaudi's attention to detail and his ability to infuse even the most utilitarian elements with artistic flair. Today, Casa Milà serves as a cultural center and museum, allowing visitors to explore its interior, including the recreated apartments that showcase early 20th century bourgeois life in Barcelona. Exhibitions and events are hosted regularly, providing a deeper understanding of Gaudi's life, work, and the historical context in which Casa Milà was created. And now we move to Gaudi's magnum opus, the Sagrada Familia, which is a symphony of stone that transcends traditional architectural norms. Originally commissioned in 1882, Gaudi dedicated the latter part of his life to the construction of this basilica, which remains a work in progress to this day. The Sagrada Familia is not merely a building, it is a living testament to Gaudi's spiritual and artistic journey. In 1882, architect Francisco de Paula del Villar initiated the Sagrada Familia project, but it was Antoni Gaudi who took over a year later, infusing the basilica with his distinctive vision. Gaudi's approach to architecture was deeply rooted in nature and spirituality, and this is palpable in every facet of the Sagrada Familia's design. The Sagrada Familia's exterior is a captivating blend of Gothic and Art Nouveau elements, featuring intricate facades adorned with elaborate sculptures depicting scenes from the Bible. The Nativity facade, the Passion facade, and the Glory facade each tell a unique story, creating a visual narrative that unfolds as one circumnavigates the basilica. One of the most remarkable aspects of the Sagrada Familia is its status as an unfinished masterpiece. Gaudi, fully aware that he wouldn't live to see its completion, poured his heart and soul into the project. Construction began in 1882 and continues to this day. Although it was hoped to complete the construction in 2026, marking the centennial of Gaudi's death, the COVID epidemic made that schedule impossible to attain. So now the hope is that the tallest and central tower of the basilica, which represents Jesus, will be finished by 2026. Every element of the Sagrada Familia is laden with symbolism. The interior, bathed in natural light, filtered through vibrant stained glass windows, is a forest of towering columns that branch out like trees, creating a sense of sacred space. The ceiling, reminiscent of an inverted florist four, adds to the ethereal atmosphere, making it a place of contemplation and spiritual reflection. In keeping with Gaudi's innovative spirit, the Sagrada Familia combines traditional craftsmanship with cutting-edge technology. Advanced computer-aided design and 3D printing are employed alongside traditional stone carving techniques, allowing for a seamless integration of modernity and tradition. The Sagrada Familia is more than a religious site. It is a cultural icon that draws millions of visitors annually. In 2005, it was consecrated by Pope Benedict XVI and designated a minor basilica. We have some beautiful pictures of Sagrada Familia on our website, placespeoplepurpose.com. And I would invite you to look at these to grasp the true beauty and complexity of this masterpiece. Just go to placespeoplepurpose.com and then click on the Places tab, where you will find the destinations of Spain and Barcelona. So who is this rare and amazing genius? Antoni Gaudi was born on the 25th of June, 1852 in Reus, which is about 65 miles from Barcelona. He suffered from rheumatoid fever as a child, which meant that he had to spend long periods of time resting. Having to lie in bed for a long time made him a shy and introverted child, but this also may have served as a trigger for his genius. In 1870, he moved to Barcelona to pursue his academic career in architecture, at the same time working at various jobs to enable him to pay for his studies. He was an inconsistent student, but he was already showing some evidence of brilliance that opened doors for him, allowing him to collaborate with some of his professors. When he completed his studies at the School of Architecture in 1878, the director of the school declared, "I do not know if we have awarded this degree to a madman or to a genius. Only time will tell." In his youth, Gaudi liked to dress in expensive clothes and frequent theaters, concerts, and other social gatherings. As his career progressed, and especially after he began working on Sagrada Familia, he became much more ascetic. Ultimately, he neglected his personal appearance, ate frugally, and distanced himself from social life, while simultaneously devoting himself ever more fervently to a religious and mystical sentiment. The life of an amazing artist took a terrible turn on June 7, 1926, when he was struck by a streetcar. After being struck, he lost consciousness, and nobody suspected that this disheveled old man, who was not carrying any identity papers, was the famous architect. Gaudi lay unconscious in the midst of the busy thoroughfare until a policeman hailed a taxi and instructed the driver to transport him to the Santa Cruz Hospital, which was a hospital for the poor. When the chaplain of the Sagrada Familia recognized him the following morning, the severely injured Gaudi was beyond all help. He died in the same hospital around 5 o'clock on the afternoon of June 10th at the age of 73. 2 days later, Gaudi was buried in Sagrada Familia, and his funeral was attended by throngs of people. Many of the citizens of Barcelona came out to bid a final farewell to the most talented architect the city had ever known. As has many times been the case with artists so ahead of their time, Gaudi's work was not fully appreciated during his lifetime. But today, he is celebrated as a visionary architect whose contributions have left an indelible mark on the world of art and design. In 1984, several of Gaudi's works, including the Sagrada Familia, Parkway, Casa Milà, and Casa Milà, were designated UNESCO World Heritage Sites, ensuring their preservation for future generations. That's all we have for today's episode of Places, People, Purpose. We hope you enjoyed learning more about the genius of Antoni Gaudi. From my personal perspective, I have not seen architecture where I've been so mesmerized by its beauty, which I attribute mostly to Gaudi's integration of nature into his work. I hope his work gives you the same sense of peace and beauty. Next time, we're going to explore other fun and interesting areas in Barcelona. So please join us for our next episode of Places, People, Purpose, where we create connections to our world.